Welcome to Mike's Workbench here in St. Michael's Forge. I'm Mike Giannotti, and tonight we are bevel grinding knives. So I've been involved, haven't had time in the last few days to do anything, but started getting involved with Gentry Custom Knives Challenge. And I have tonight 4 blades or 4 knife profiles that are ready to bevel grind. You know, I've got a lot of things, kind of irons in the fire right now going. I've got the workbench I'm building for the forge press, which is sitting here. That's a little over halfway done. I've got these knives I need to get on and at least get the bevel grinding done tonight because my even heat kiln is hungry. It wants to cook some knives. So we got to bevel grind them, get those ready. I also have this dagger that I've already heat treated in the kiln, and I really would like to work on it because I am so stoked as to how it's coming out, but that baby's gonna have to wait. So tonight we're bevel grinding. So this is my plan of attack. These are very small profiles, right? So not very large. They call them scalpel knives. You got a little groove here for your finger and then a tiny blade. In what I've seen from the pictures, the bevel, it is angled. So it'll be the first time I'm doing that. They angle the bevel and then it's kind of a full, it's not like a hollow ground or anything. There's not a definitive profile with like in a larger blade where you might do it halfway down. Instead, it's kind of whole blade going on up. And so, and I don't know what you call that, but it looks good on these. So what I'm gonna do is this. I am gonna use the file guide. I'm gonna try to mark these up. I'll put, try to get them so it's the exact same on both sides. We use the file guide to go ahead and form a definitive edge there so we don't, bleed that over because we want a nice clear edge going. And then I think I'm gonna hand bevel them, right? Draw them across, because these are small, they're tiny, and I wanna be precise. And I've gotten a lot better as far as when I'm doing things, taking it nice and even and getting a nice even cut or nice even grind on both sides. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna be hopping on the Origin Blade Maker, covering it up there. The Origin Blade Maker grinder. We've got Red Label Abrasive belts we're gonna use. I'm not gonna use a 36 grind, I don't think. Normally a bigger blade, like this one, that's what I used, right, to start off with. We're gonna crank it up. We're gonna go up to a finer grain because I don't wanna overdo it. You can't reintroduce stock. You only take it away. So I'd rather go slow and steady, like the tortoise that wins the race. So that's what we're gonna do. We'll get started. And as always, if you have questions, suggestions, comments, critiques, wide open, love to hear them, but we need to get these. I will tell you though, they are very different, the ones. I didn't want to mention that. So these are much, much thicker. So this one here, you can see that's fairly thin. So that's not a whole lot of grinding. These ones though, much thicker, right? You can see the difference there. Look at that. So I have too thin, too thick. If I have more time, I would love to make one of these out of a railway spike, but I've got a lot on my plate. So that's what we're gonna work on, and it's time we get started. All right, so what I've done, I had to mark these up. I wanted to make sure when I put the file guide in, I could make it consistent when I do one side, then flip and do the other. Actually, I guess when I put it on, it will be consistent. I hadn't even thought of that because I just have to turn it around. But at any rate, I did draw it out. And what I saw was the way that his ran on that little edge on the back here, they went parallel to the back edge going up at an angle. So I've got that drawn out. I use this little doodad. It's a pocket ruler. I don't keep it on pocket. I keep it on my magnetic bar here. There we go, put it back. So I've got this all done up. So what we're gonna do is take the file guide and we're going to fit this up and tighten her down right lined up. So here we go. Got that there. We got our Allen wrench here, tighten her up. Oh, not tight yet. Again, we're doing this so that, you know, we can get that real nice clean plunge line there. So that's what I'm going for. I want a clean plunge line. But as I said, instead of using the bevel guide, which I use on the bigger knives, with these, I think I'm going to do it by hand. I have a lot of control on the grinder. I did put a 80 grit, and it's a used one, so it's in decent shape, and it'll do fine for this. But you know, I don't want to take too much. So there you can see we got it all marked up. We're all ready to roll. It's time to go ahead and start grinding. All right, so I've stopped when using the guide. What I'm finding is on the smaller blade, it's just kind of unwieldy. So I'm going to take this off, and we're going to go for purely by hand. And luckily I got lots of blade left, and so we're good. But yeah, that was interesting. I found that drawing it on this side, you know, I move the belt on over and we're fine, and I could get a nice, you know, angled cut and then bring it back and start to get a real nice bevel like I saw there. But on this side, on the back side, where it comes out, this extension arm piece here, I can't take the belt far enough so that the guide's not getting impeded on this piece of metal that comes in here, because then the belt is hitting this pretty hard up here. So what I'll be doing, instead of this, with this, we're going to take it by hand and see how it goes. All right, so started out using the file guide, was having some issues with the file guide. So then I went to freehand, and I was doing freehand with 80 grit. I got tired of the 80 grit. I dropped back down to my 36 grit to do the major portion, and then from there I moved up to a 120 just to finalize that bit. And this is just for the bevel. I'm going to do some other shaping to kind of even things out and stuff. But you can see, there we go. That was my freehand. Probably not the greatest, but it is a nice even bevel coming, you know, starting from the spine and coming all the way down. So happy with that. So we got that portion done. And let me tell you, I've got nothing but respect for the people who are doing these tiny blades. I mean, I feel a lot more confident with a bigger blade moving around. I'm getting better and better at that. There's no room for error on something this small. So there we go. Bevel grinding, 4 knives tonight. Boom. And freehand bevel grinding on these little tiny babies. So with that, I gotta stop for the night. I gotta head back in. Got a lot to do with work. But I'm happy with my progress. So until next time, here at Mike's Workbench here in St. Michael's Forge, if you can call this a forge, then you have a great night. I had fun tonight. I learned a lot, as always. I'm always learning. And this was actually a really good. It was a good time. I was like, oh, little fingers. I gotta go very lightly and angle it this way and go. It was fun. It was learning a whole new set of techniques and skills. So with that, you have a great night. Take care, and as always, ciao.